Hey everyone, what's up? So today I am filming on my phone. Mainly I just want to see the quality of this. Today what I want to talk about is what it's like being in an interracial relationship. And you would think with it being 2018 that it would be no different than any other relationship. But it is. And I think I hinted at making this video in my last video. I'm not sure if I said this, but I feel like I can count on one hand how many white guys I've dated in my life. For me, it's not, it is about personality, but it's also about looks. Obviously, if somebody says looks don't matter, they don't matter, but to an extent they do. So I'm not really attracted to white guys. There are cute white guys, but that's not really my go-to. So when I would look for guys or whatever, I wouldn't really talk to white guys. I did all my dating online because I suck at talking to people. So when I was looking through profiles, I wouldn't really be attracted to the white guys. So I would just talk to mainly Hispanic guys. I've never dated a black guy until my boyfriend. Fiance, actually. I'm not wearing a ring. We are engaged. If I don't have my ring, it's one because I forgot to put it on because I'm not allowed to wear it at work. So when I get home, I either forget to put it on or it's just because I just left work or I'm at work and I'm on break. So I just started a new job kind of recently. I've been there maybe a month or so, and nobody has met my boyfriend. Well, the one girl that I work with actually knows his niece. So she knows him. And then nobody else does. And then I went there one day with my boyfriend, and then the next day I go to work, and my one coworker was like, "Was that guy that you were in here with your boyfriend?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "That's what I thought," and I just could not believe it. My mouth just dropped open. She's like, "I couldn't see you with a guy like that." I'm like, "What does that mean?" I hate to pull the race card and say it's a race, but what do you mean a guy like him? And she's like, "He's just so big and you're just so little." I'm like, "He's really not that big." I'm like, "Oh, you think he's big?" Because when I first met him, I thought he was really big. She's like, "No, he's not really that big. So why would you say a guy like that?" Because referring to his size. You wouldn't. And I hate when people use a race card and assume it's all race, but I feel like a lot of stuff is race nowadays, still, unfortunately. So yeah, she was like that. And then another girl was telling me that another coworker was like, "Oh my God, did you see Courtney's boyfriend?" And she was like, "Yes, I did. It'll be okay. It's fine." I don't understand what the big deal is. Nobody has ever said anything. Even when I dated Hispanic guys, nobody has really said anything the way they do with KJ. And I remember when I was at school this one time, I used to work on the boardwalk, and this kid, it's the kid from, I don't know if I mentioned this in this story time, and I don't know if I made this video private, but I'm pretty sure I did. It's my get ready with me, no means no, because he was persistent about hanging out with me. First of all, he lied to me and told me that he was on vacation and that he was leaving, so he wanted somebody to hang out with. I'm like, no. And then I find out that he goes to the school that I go to. So one day I was in the computer lab or the library, and then he came in there, and I had a collage of us, of my boyfriend and I, on my computer, and I didn't have my computer screen maximized so you could see some of the pictures. And he was like, "Is that your boyfriend?" And I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Wow, I didn't know you dated black guys," or something like that. And I'm like, it doesn't really matter. At this point, I was already annoyed with him because he was like, "Oh, come on, stop doing your work, let's go for a walk, blah, blah, blah." And this was the third time he tried hanging out with me. I'm like, "No, I don't want to talk to you." And he knew from the beginning that I had a boyfriend, because I told him the first day, I'm like, "I have a boyfriend, I'm not trying to hang out with you." I don't know. Everybody just, and then other people just make kind of racist remarks, and then when people say no offense, obviously you're going to say something offensive. I've had people say stuff that are clearly offensive, and you're like, oh, no offense. Like, if you didn't want to offend the person, you wouldn't say that. And honestly, when I'm with my boyfriend, I don't really care. I don't really care about anything because I feel totally, like, comfortable, safe with him, so I don't really worry about, like, other people, which kind of is whatever, naive. Like, I should be aware of my surroundings. But he says, like, when we go out, like, people, like, give us looks and everything. And when I've, like, went out with the thought of, like, let me look to see if people are looking at us weird, nobody, like, looks at us weird. Or I don't see anyway. When we go out, nobody really says anything. So, yeah, it's just, like, when I'm by myself, people say stuff about him. Nobody seems to say stuff to him about me. And if they do, he doesn't tell me. And I've asked him, I'm like, have people, like, when you show me to other people, like, what do people say? They're like, oh, they say you're pretty. And I'm like, I mean about my race. He's like, they don't say anything. So, I don't know. And I hate when people are like, oh, you don't seem like the girl to, like, date black guys. I don't know. I don't get it. I thought this video would be, like, more interesting. But I definitely want to do another Q&A with him because it's been a while. Sorry, my phone keeps falling. So, yeah, it's just been hard. It's not been hard. It's just really annoying because you would think we're past that part of people caring about race and even, like, same-sex marriage. People don't like that either. So, you know what? Don't judge me because I sin differently than you. I'm sure you're not a perfect person. I'm sure there's things that you do that maybe I don't agree with. And then, another kid was like, oh, so I hear your boyfriend's. This is exactly how he said it. He's like, so I heard something, and I'm like, what? I'm like, I heard that your boyfriend is African American. I'm like, yeah. He's like, so is my girlfriend. I'm like, okay, cool. This isn't like a club, okay? People are either like, ooh, I date black guys too, or like, wow, I didn't know you dated black guys. So it's one or the other, which it's not, I mean, I don't know. I still take offense to it, even if you're, like, saying something like he did, like, oh, my girlfriend's black too. Because it's like, why does it matter? You shouldn't bring race into it to begin with. I was looking at, like, wedding stuff. Somebody literally had to put on their website that they're LGBTQ+, I think that's what it is now, friendly. Like, why does that matter? I see why, because people want to, like, ensure. And, like, I feel like if I were, like, in a same-sex marriage, I feel like that would kind of be, like, an awkward thing to, like, ask. I don't know, maybe because I'm not in that position. Maybe it's not awkward for same-sex couples. But why does that matter? Why does any of this matter? I don't know. I think people just need to mind their own business. And if it doesn't affect you in any way, then leave it alone. That's all I have to say. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.